West Bromwich Albion had a very disappointing season in the Championship. They lost their manager Carlos Corberan, who left to Valencia. They failed to reach the playoffs as they finished 9th in the league, and they have just announced unproven manager Ryan Mason as their new boss, so who knows what's in store for the baggies next season. But for today, let's pretend they appointed me instead of Ryan Mason. So today we are taking charge of the baggies with the ultimate end goal of winning them a Champions League trophy. And you guys have been loving the realistic rebuilds recently, so they're coming back for this video. We have to rebuild West Brom realistically. And if you are new to the channel, the way we do realistic rebuilds is we cannot sign anyone who is higher rated than our current highest rated player. So West Brom's best player in FC25 is actually on loan Adam Armstrong, so he doesn't actually count. The actual highest rated player who West Brom actually own is Jed Wallace, who is 30 years old and 73 rated. That means in season number 1 we cannot sign anyone who is above 73 rated. Now, West Brom have released their return list in real life, and John Swift, Grady Diangana and Semi Ajayi have all been released, meaning we have to get rid of them in FC25. It's also worth mentioning that Will Lancashire, Mason Holgate and Adam Armstrong have all completed their loans. They currently do not play for West Brom, so we cannot use them this season either. And the starting 11 we've loaded into is actually quite good, I can't lie. The glaring weak points of the starting 11 are 100% the goalkeeper and the left side of our defence. Now, West Brom actually start with a very competitive budget of £13 million, meaning we will be able to bring a goalkeeper and left-sided defender in the first transfer window. But bear in mind, boys, we have to keep the signings realistic. We can't just go out signing Miles Lewis-Skelly or Okabasi. We have to make realistic signings. Now, the way we want to play with West Brom is a wing play tactical preset. Johnston and Fellows are fantastic players. Styles and Furlong aren't bad defenders either, who can get forward. We're going to be focusing a lot of our play down the flanks. But it's now time to put this 13 million to good use, get into the transfer market and try and bring in a goalkeeper and left-sided defender. So we have gone out into the transfer market and signed a new goalkeeper and central defender, and I think we've made 2 very realistic signings and got these players for a pretty decent price as well. The first signing of the West Brom rebuild is Chardy Riyad of Crystal Palace. We've paid 4.8 million for him. He's 21-year-old, 72 rated with really good stats. He only made 1 appearance in real life for Crystal Palace last season. I think dropping down to the Championship would be a really good option for him to get some first team minutes, and I'm hoping he's going to be an excellent centre-back for us throughout the rest of this rebuild. Now, the second signing we made in this transfer window is a goalkeeper who will be leaving his parent club in real life. We have signed Carl Rushworth from Brighton for £5.4 million. Heavily linked with a move away from the Amex in real life, we have brought him to the Hawthorns, where he can get guaranteed first team football. He's 22-year-old, 72 rated with really decent stats, and he's a good player in FC25. I think Riyad and Rushworth are 2 excellent signings from the league above, who definitely make us a lot stronger. And with Riyad and Rushworth added to our starting 11, we are instantly looking much stronger on paper. They've also placed Josh Madger up front as he was hiding in the reserves for some reason. He must be injured in real life. Now, we have got a pretty competitive starting 11 heading into season number 1, but I don't think we're going to have enough in the tank to get promoted this season. Hopefully I'm wrong. And we do also have a decent bench as well with some good options on there. We do start off with a pretty decent squad, but it's clear to see that work needs to be done to get us ready to play in the Premier League. Now, after the signings of Rushworth and Riyad, we're left with just 820 grand in the bank, and we have got quite a few contracts to renew in season number 1, boys. And as you know, on this channel we always send our youth scouts off to one of your recommendations. Today we are going with this comment. We are sending our youth scouts off to Ghana to look for strikers and defensive midfielders. I want to find the next Asamoah Gyan and Michael Essien. And confirmation, boys, that Grady Diangana, John Swift and Semi Ajayi have all been sold. We have also loaned out a youngster. And what does this influx of cash mean? Well, we can finally cancel all the loans. Bit of a waste of money, I can't lie. But now we know there's no chance them guys are going to play any minutes this season. But that's going to be our transfer window done in terms of incomings. Our starting 11 is locked in for the new season. I think we have got a good team on paper, but I think getting promoted could be a struggle. I'm aiming for the playoffs, but if we fall short, I wouldn't be surprised. But off camera, we are going to try and loan out a few young players and bring some new coaches into the club. But we're now going to simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, and I do wonder what season 1 has in store for us. Well, season number 1 is done and dusted, boys. We've finished 3rd in the Championship on 91 points. We've missed out on automatic promotion by just 1 point to Leeds United. Literally lost 5 games out of a 46-game season. So difficult to take, missing out on automatic promotion. However, we have got one more chance to get promoted, and that is in the playoffs. We'll be taking on Hull City first, and if we get past them, either Sheffield United or Luton at Wembley. Have we been promoted to the Premier League? Well, after a very tight affair. We beat Hull City 3-2 over 2 legs. Luton Town beat Sheffield United on penalties, meaning it's West Brom v Luton for a chance to get back into the Premier League. And we only went and beat them 2-1 at Wembley Stadium, lads. It's taken us just one season, but we've got West Brom back into the Premier League. We are the playoff winners, and this next transfer window is going to be massive. We have to get the signings right. Now, in the FA Cup, we got beat at the first hurdle by Premier League Newcastle United, but we did take them all the way to penalties. No real shame in losing to a multi-million-pound side on penalties. So this is the West Brom team that has got us promoted from the Championship, and if it's going to stay in the Premier League, it's definitely going to need some work. We're going to need reinforcements all across the starting 11. By that, I'm thinking we're going to need at least one new defensive midfielder, a new winger, and potentially a new fullback as well. We don't know how much money the West Brom board are going to give us. Hopefully, we do get a competitive budget. Now, heading into the Premier League, as we know with these realistic rebuilds, we cannot sign anyone who's higher rated than our current highest rated player. Carl Rushworth is our current highest rated player at 78 rated, so we are restricted to signing players who are 78 rated or below next season, which could be a massive hindrance to us. Now, heading into the Premier League, Josh Madger was on absolute fire this season, getting 31 goals and 9 assists. He scored the bulk of our goals in our playoff winning season. Price and Johnston got over 10 goals, which is nice to see. Just think we've got a little bit of an over-reliance on Josh Madger to score our goals. So we are now in season number 2, and the West Brom board have given us a good budget, thankfully. We've got £55 million in the bank. Now, I do think we've got enough in the bank to keep West Brom in the Premier League whilst keeping the signings realistic. So we have gone out into the transfer market. We have made 3 new signings, and while one I think is definitely realistic, 2 signings here where I have pushed the boat out, but I will give my reasonings as to why I've signed them. The first player we signed was a defensive midfielder from Middlesbrough, Aidan Morris, 23-year-old, 75 rated, really good stats, would instantly be our best defensive midfielder. Signed for £9 million. Middlesbrough missed out on promotion last season, didn't even make the playoffs. I think a newly promoted side could definitely sign him. Now, our second signing was a left midfielder, Ruben van Bommel of AZ Alkmaar, who we signed for £12 million. He's an amazing player, 6'4", exciting prospect, 20 years old, 75 rated. Did a bit of research, and in real life, he has just had his breakthrough season for AZ Alkmaar, playing 26 times, getting 4 goals, getting 5 assists. I do think he would be tempted to move to the Premier League, and a newly promoted Premier League side is going to get a lot of minutes. So I do think this signing is realistic. If you don't agree, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, this signing is the one that definitely comes with the most risk. We have signed Devin Wrench of Roma for £14 million. It's actually an amazing deal. We've got him for £3.5 million below his market value. He's 22-year-old, 77 rated, good stats, and can play all across the back line. When I did a little bit of research, I saw that he only played 14 times for Roma last season. Now, I don't know if he was injured, don't know the ins and outs, but I feel like at a 22-year-old, he would have aspirations to have a nailed-on starting spot in a top league in world football. And I do think there's an element of realism to this signing, but as always, if you don't agree, let me know in the comment section down below. And with our 3 new signings added to the starting 11, this will be the West Brom team to take us into season number 2 and our first in the Premier League. This starting 11 is now locked in, and with the additions of Morris, Wrench and Van Bommel, we are definitely looking a lot stronger on paper. And with Johnson, Malumbi and Furlong dropping to the bench, we've also got a decent bench as well. I'm hopeful we've got enough firepower here to stay in the Premier League this season, as 17th place is my official goal. But there will be one more change to this starting 11, and it's a massive risk. Now, Heggen is currently starting at centre-back, and he's an amazing player in real life. This 26-year-old, 72 rated, is not really going to get much better. We sent a wonder kid from Ghana out on loan who had potential to be special, Mohamed Ankra, who is 18-year-old, 69 rated. I'm going to take a really big risk. I'm going to recall him and throw him straight into our starting 11, throw him in at the deep end and get him playing in the Premier League. Hopefully come the end of the season, he's mid-70 rated. Now, we do still have £14 million in the bank, but I'm not really looking to sign anyone else in this transfer window, and I don't think any of our players are currently at a status where a big club are going to come in and sign them. And we do actually have a lot of contracts to renew in the off-season. Literally over half the squad need the contracts renewing. This will eat into our budget quite a bit as well. And in the off-season, lads, we have been very smart. We have give players like Isaac Price, Josh Madger and Tom Fellows new deals, keeping them at the club for at least another 3 seasons. This is just to keep them invested in the project at West Brom, as I think these are players who big clubs may look to sign in the next few seasons. So I'm not expecting anyone else to come into the club. We may look to sell a few fringe players, which we'll catch up with at the end of the season. For now though, there's nothing left we can do in season 2 but simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, and there's nothing else on my mind but Premier League survival. So we have arrived at the end of the season, lads, and what a season we have had. We've finished 9th in the Premier League, achieving a top half finish on 48 points. We actually finished above our Black Country rivals, Wolves, as well, which is another positive. And if you think a 9th place finish was the highlight of our season, you're actually wrong, because we have won West Brom's first major trophy since 1968, winning the Carabao Cup 1-0. We beat Liverpool in the final. That's a Carabao Cup trophy added to our trophy cabinet, and I think this means we are in the Europa League next season. So European football is actually coming to the Hawthorns in season 3. We were brought back down to earth a little bit though in the FA Cup as we lost to Championship side Derby 2-1. And this is how our team is looking at the end of the season. It's definitely looking strong on paper. We've got 3 players above 80 rated in Van Bommel, Rushworth and Wrench. Hopefully no big clubs come in trying to snipe them next season. Now Ankara has grown by 4 overall, so we're going to give him another season to develop next season. Where do I want to improve this team, pushing us forward into European football? Well, I think we definitely need a defensive midfielder to replace Moa. He is 31-year-old and 75 rated. He's not going to get much better. We need a younger, high potential player in his position, and if we have any money remaining left over, I will be looking to replace Callum Styles. 76 rated, 26-year-old. He is a decent player. He's not going to take us to a Champions League final, and that is our ultimate goal. We need younger, high potential left backs and defensive midfielders in the next transfer window. Like we always say, it's completely dependent on how much money the board decides to give us. Now at the end of the season, we will be saying goodbye to Kyle Bartlett and Devante Cole, 2 players who are like League 1 standard at best, so we won't be renewing their contracts. And when it comes to the stats, Josh Madger again was Mr. Reliable, getting 21 goals in all competitions, but Van Bommel was absolutely amazing in his first season in England. 20 goals and 6 assists. It could be a real difficult task to keep him at the Hawthorns next season. And we did have one player sale this season. Jed Wallace left us to Everton for £3 million, but it looks like they're going to be releasing him after just 1 season. So we have arrived in season number 3, boys. We've got £40 million in the bank, which is a decent budget. Hopefully that's enough to bring a new left back and CDM into the club this summer. Now the highest rated player at the club is Devon Range at 81 rated, so we cannot sign anyone who is above 81 rated in this transfer window. So boys, we have gone out into the transfer market and we have made 2 new signings, which I'm really excited about. 1 youngster with really good potential and 1 established Premier League level left back. First player we signed was a really exciting CDM from Turkey, Demir Tiknaz, who is 21-year-old, 75 rated, 6'4", with amazing stats, and he is also an exciting prospect. We have signed him for £12 million from relegation battling Getafe over in La Liga. We've brought him to the Hawthorns. Definitely a realistic transfer as he's now got European football. This is a massive upgrade on Alex Moa. Now one thing we love to do in these realistic rebuilds is raid recently relegated clubs. We have done just that as we have signed Leif Davis from Brentford for £18 million. He is 26-year-old, 80 rated, a proper established Premier League left back with really good stats. We've actually got him for below his market value as well. No way he would want to play for Brentford in the Championship. We've swooped in, got him on a bargain price, and he will hopefully be a left back to take us all the way to the Champions League final. But a bit of bad news, boys. We've only got £2 million sitting in our bank account, so unless we have a big player sale in this window, we will not be signing anyone else. It's now literally just a waiting game from now to the end of the transfer window to see if any clubs come in for our star players. So we have made it to the end of the transfer window, lads, and we have managed to retain all of our best players, thank the Lord. We did sell 2 players in this window. Josh Griffiths and Gianluca Frambotta have gone to 2 Midland rivals, Birmingham and Coventry, raising around 2.5 million, leaving us with 4 million in the bank, but that's still not enough to make another signing. That's definitely going to be our transfer window done, and that means this will be the West Brom team to take us into season number 3. We're looking a lot stronger on paper heading into the new season. Got some young, exciting players there, and I'm hopeful the growth will just continue. This team is now locked in for the new season. Really looking forward to see how we get on in Europe this season. But with our starting 11 locked in, our transfer window done, there's not really much more we can do but simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. Really happy with the transfer business we've done. Buzzing to be in the Conference League. Can we improve on season 2? It's going to be a big ask. Another season is now in the history books, and we have achieved a 10th place finish in the Premier League on 55 points. I think that counts as yet another top half finish, even though we are 1 position below last season. We do need to make a few tweaks next season if we want to start competing at the top end of the Premier League. And for whatever reason, lads, we just cannot put a run together in the FA Cup. Knocked out in the 4th round by Ipswich Town 2-1. How do we put that disappointing result behind us? By going back to back in the Carabao Cup, boys. We have won it for the 2nd season running. beating Chelsea 4-3 on penalties. That's a second Carabao Cup trophy in consecutive seasons added to our trophy cabinet, and once again next season we will be in the Conference League. Now, speaking of the Conference League, we've only gone and won that as well, beating Shakhtar Donetsk 2-1 in the final. That's a European trophy added to the West Brom trophy cabinet. That is insane, and this guarantees us a spot in the Europa League next season. And our starting 11 is now really starting to take shape. We have only got 2 players in the starting 11 who are below 80 rated, one of them being Ankara, who's got amazing potential. Maybe next season we'll look to replace Riyad, who has just not grown enough. I think if we bring a top level centre back in, it will really propel our team to the next level. I am pretty convinced we are going to lose Van Bommel next season. He is 85 rated, 22-year-old, an absolutely amazing player on paper. I really do feel like some Champions League teams could come sniffing around him next season. We have got some replacements lined up if any bids come in for our players, especially Van Bommel. But I can't lie, lads, I am pretty resigned to losing Van Bommel in season 4. So the West Bromwich Albion double winners are now heading into season 4, heading into Europa League football. I think this definitely enables us to attract a higher calibre of player in season number 4. So we are now in season 4, 43 million sits in our bank account. Definitely enough to bring a higher level centre back to the club, but however, we'll have to keep a keen eye on our transfer offers. Now, before we head into the transfer window, as we know, we cannot sign anyone who's higher rated than our current highest rated player, but our highest rated player is Ruben Van Bommel at 85 rated. I have a feeling he will be leaving the club in this transfer window. Our next highest rated player is David Wrench. He is highly likely to still be at the club at the end of the transfer window, so this season we cannot sign anyone who's above 84 rated, as we are expecting Van Bommel to leave the club. So as we know, in this transfer window, our primary target was a centre-back. We've brought one in from a fellow Premier League club. However, I do still think this signing is very realistic. We have brought Sepp van den Berg in from Brentford for £32 million. He is 25-year-old, 82 rated, 6'4", with amazing defensive stats. Now, in real life, West Brom are a bigger club than Brentford, got more history, play in front of more fans. I do think Van den Berg would be tempted to leave Brentford and join West Brom. And I also think in FC25 we finished twice in the top half in the Premier League, won 2 Carabao Cups and a Conference League in the last 2 seasons. Definitely think he'd want to move from Brentford to West Brom. Now, we're left with £7 million in this transfer window, but our window is by no means done. We're now playing a waiting game to see if any bids come in for Van Bommel, price, range. And just 7 days into the transfer window, boys, we knew it were coming. Chelsea have made a £119 million bid for Ruben Van Bommel. They are in the Champions League. There is absolutely no way I can reject this bid. But if he does leave, I have got a good replacement lined up. And as we can see, Ruben Van Bommel has completed his move to Chelsea for £119 million. We've also sold Mikey Johnston, Hammer Banner and Joe Wildsmith as well. That leaves us with £105 million in the bank, which is a lot of money. I know we have got to try and find an adequate replacement for Van Bommel, who is 84 rated or below. Luckily, we've been doing a lot of scouting off camera. So, boys, we went back out into the transfer market, made 2 new signings, a replacement for Van Bommel and a new backup winger, and they're interesting ones to say the least. First player we signed was a backup right midfielder, Casey McAteer, joining from Leicester for £7 million. 25-year-old, 76 rated, a decent backup player. Just felt like we were lacking some depth in the right midfield position. He's come from the Championship. He would definitely move up to the Premier League. Now, the Van Bommel replacement, it's a risky one. Definitely a risky one. We have signed Christos Zolis from Club Brugge for £42 million. 25-year-old, 83 rated, amazing stats. Former Norwich player, and when he played for Norwich, he was not the best, only scoring 1 goal in 28 games. He's gone abroad, done really well, scoring 16 times last season. However, do I think he would leave Club Brugge to join a top 10 Premier League team who have just won the Conference League? Yes, I definitely think he would. Let me know down in the comment section down below, do you think this is a realistic signing? Now, with Van der Berg and Zolis added to our starting 11, without any outgoings, this is going to be the team that takes us into season number 4. It's a fantastic team on paper. Still got 3 players from the original West Brom team in the starting 11, which we'd love to see. And I'm hopeful this team has got enough quality to try and compete for a top 7 place in the Premier League. Don't really know what I'm on about anyway, because we're in the Europa League this season either way. But unless a big offer comes in that we can't refuse to one of our players, this starting 11 is now locked in for the new season. Excellent team on paper. Got a very competitive bench as well, maybe lacking a backup goalkeeper. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how this West Brom team does this season, because we have made some very exciting signings. But were they realistic signings though? Suppose I'm only going to find out when this video actually airs. But we have still got £51 million in the bank, but there's no way West Brom would sell a player for £120 million and just let the new manager spend every single penny. They're going to want to bank some. Board have said, We've spent our budget, we can't spend any more. But with the board not allowing us to spend any more money, our transfer window is now closed. As of right now, we are going to be simulating forward straight through to the end of the season. Hopefully, we can give a good account of ourselves in the Europa League and try and get into the top 7 in the Premier League. Oh, boys, I am so gutted. Honestly, so gutted. We have finished 5th in the Premier League. We've been amazing this season. We've won 19 games, scored 81 goals, but we've finished 2 points outside of the top 4, finishing 5th, meaning it's once again going to be Europa League football next season, and we were literally 2 points off finishing in the Champions League. Absolutely gutted. We still have a chance, though, of qualification to the Champions League, and that's by winning the Europa League. Fingers crossed, boys. Please tell me we've won it. And Roma have won it. Where did we get to? The quarterfinals and got beat 5-0 over 2 legs by Monaco. That is just not good. So it's Europa League football once again next season, boys. Can't deny we had an amazing season. Could we have made it 3 consecutive Carabao Cups just to, like, ease the pain a bit? No, we've not. And we've also not won the FA Cup. Oh, God. 2 points off Champions League qualification. I could literally cry. But the team's looking really strong, boys, to be honest. Really good team on paper. Our highest rated player is 86 rated in Tiknas and Wrench. So next season, we can sign players 86 rated and below, which would really, really help us out. Where do I want to improve the team, though, next season? I'm thinking about bringing a better goalkeeper in than Rushworth and a better defensive midfielder in than Morris. Scoring loads and loads of goals, boys. It can't be denied, but we're conceding loads as well. I think if we bring a better goalkeeper in and defensive midfielder, we'll have a better chance of keeping more clean sheets, which is something we just don't do. And I'm also going to look to improve the quality of our bench. We need a new backup striker. For some reason, Riyadh weren't even on the bench then. This is when it gets really challenging in this rebuild, because we need to make marquee signings, and we also have to keep it realistic. And in terms of stats, we did score a lot of goals this season, and Christos Solis was amazing. He got 30 goals and 10 assists in his first season as a bagger. Fantastic return, and he has definitely proved to be a good replacement for Van Bommel. So we have arrived in what I think is season number 5, lads, and we've got £130 million in the bank. It's clear the board want me to get Champions League football this season. We are going to have a lot of this budget available to us. We need a goalkeeper and CDM and a backup striker, and I think we'll be ready to challenge for Champions League football and hopefully actually get Champions League football. So we have been very busy in the transfer market, boys. We've made 3 new signings, 1 free agent backup striker, and we have found 2 absolute gems in the lower leagues of English and Spanish football who actually go straight into our starting 11. Let's get the free agent striker out of the way first. We signed Youssef Irabe on a 4-year deal. He's 25-year-old, 76 rated, decent little squad player. I think he'll be an adequate backup striker going into season 5. We then found a new first choice goalkeeper in the Spanish 2nd division, Konstantinos Zolakis, 25-year-old, 84 rated goalkeeper who's 6'4" with amazing stats. Signed for £44 million. I think he's Olympiacos' first choice goalkeeper in real life. Player of this quality is never sticking around in the Spanish 2nd division. He's our new number 1 goalkeeper. And then we found an absolute baller in the championship. No idea how this man has ended up in the championship, by the way. Carlos Corberan was playing for Nottingham Forest in the championship. Are you mad? 24-year-old, 85 rated, unbelievable stats. Huge upgrade on Morris, and we signed him for £60 million. Lads, if I let Baleba stay in the championship, that would actually be unrealistic. It would have been unrealistic me not signing him. Please agree. But in real life, he is a mid-table Premier League player. He plays for Brighton, who finished, I think, 9th in the Premier League. Don't think a team chasing Champions League football is too far-fetched for him to sign for, and he's an unbelievable signing. It can't be denied. So the board have let us splash £100 million in this transfer window. That's all we're getting. We've got 11 million left in the bank for contract renewals, but there'll be no more incomings in this transfer window. So we have made it to the end of the transfer window, boys, and thankfully managed to retain all of our starting 11. The team is looking very strong heading into season number 5. If we don't get Champions League football this season, I'm ending the rebuild. This starting 11 is now locked in for the new season. We've got a decent bench as well. 2 players who are very, very good players on there in Rushworth and Morris. And we didn't actually sell anyone in this transfer window, which I'm really happy about. We've managed to keep our squad together. We are now simulating forward straight through to the end of the season, and there's only 1 goal on my mind this season, and that is Champions League football. So we have arrived at the end of the season, boys, and we are finally finally managed to secure Champions League football for season number 6. We finished second in the Premier League on 75 points, 13 points behind eventual winners Manchester City. Finally managed to break into that top 4, which has been a long time goal for quite a while. Now it's time to start preparing our West Brom team for Champions League football. And boys, we would make the semi-finals of the FA Cup, but ultimately lose to Everton. Look at the teams that were left as well. This was a golden chance to win the FA Cup. Now, in this rebuild, we have already won the Conference League. Well, we've only gone and won the Europa League as well, boys. We have beat Villarreal 3-2 in the final. That's now a Europa League and Conference League trophy added to our trophy cabinet. We now just need to add the Champions League. And this is how our team is looking at the end of the season. Very, very strong on paper, it has to be said. Isaac Price is our best player at 89 rated. Yiknaz 88 rated as well. We've literally got a world-class player in every single position of this starting 11. Now, given the fact that we are the Europa League winners, we're now in the Champions League and competing for a Premier League trophy, I think it's highly unlikely our players would want to join any other club unless it's the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. I think we're in the clear to keep hold of all of our players, and I'm not actually looking to make any changes to our starting 11 next season. This team is very strong and pretty young as well. The area of the squad I'm going to be looking to improve is definitely the bench. We've got 3 good players on the bench in Riyad, Rushworth and Morris, but we need some more 80 rated players on there. Probably going to look to bring a new fullback and winger in just to give us some more depth on the bench. If we have any available money remaining, we will look to bring in a backup striker as well. I think if we can pack this bench out with 80 rated plus players, given the fact our starting 11 is amazing, it's going to give us a much better chance of winning the Premier League and the Champions League. Now, in terms of stats, Josh Madger has been amazing in this rebuild. He got 32 goals and 16 assists, with a big bulk of them coming in the Premier League. He has been amazing, and Solis has been an unbelievable signing. He's had 2 amazing seasons at the Hawthorns. So we have arrived in what is either season 5 or season 6. I've already forgot where we're up to. And we've got £123 million in the bank. We can definitely afford to improve our bench with this money. So let's get to work, boys. So our work in the transfer window is done, boys. We've made 3 new signings who all come in as rotation players. I think we've made 3 very realistic, very decent signings. The first player we signed was a backup striker, Nikola Kristovic of Lille. 29-year-old, 80 rated with really decent stats, and we've signed him for 17 million. He will be a decent backup for Josh Madger. Second signing we made was Dwight McNeil, who has moved over to France. He was playing for Marseille. Brought him back to England for £20 million. He's 29-year-old, 81 rated. Again, really decent stats. He can also play as an attacking midfielder as well. He'll be a really decent rotation option to have for us going into the new season. And finally, I felt like we were lacking a backup attacking midfielder, so we dropped to the Championship to sign Jack Rudoni from Coventry City for 24 million. He's 28-year-old, really decent stats, 6'1" and 81 rated. We've been lacking a good backup attacking midfielder for at least 2 seasons, so to have Rudoni in gives us a big boost. He's a welcome addition to our squad. So no change to our starting 11 heading into the new season, but our bench is now looking very strong. The lowest rated player on our bench is 76 rated, and we have got 6 80 plus rated players on the bench as well. Really now got a strong, depthful squad, hoping we can do really well in the Premier League and Champions League this season. So we have arrived at the end of the season, lads, and we have finally won the Premier League with West Brom, finishing 3 points clear of Arsenal, and that's yet another trophy added to our trophy cabinet. We are the champions of England. But it would once again be FA Cup heartbreak in the semi-finals as we lost 2-0 to Chelsea. I feel like last season was our golden chance to win the FA Cup, and as we know, we won the UEFA Super Cup at the start of the season, beating the Champions League winners Napoli. Well, we have now got a chance to win every single European trophy in FC25 as we take on AC Milan, obviously, in the Champions League final. In the league phase, we actually finished second. Out of all the sides in the Champions League, we finished second, meaning we went straight into the round of 16 where we absolutely battered Villarreal 6-1 over 2 legs. We then had a very, very tight quarterfinals taking on Bayern Munich. We beat them 5-4 on penalties after 2 legs, which would then set up a semi-final against PSG, and it was tight again. 4-3 aggregate win against PSG. We have set up a final against the team we always play in the Champions League final, AC Milan. And the team we are taking into the Champions League final is just, that team is absolutely unbelievable. No one in our starting 11 is below 87 rated. We have got 3 players over 90 rated. It's going to take a seriously strong AC Milan team to actually be better than this. And this season, Josh Madger once again added so many goals. 34 goals and 12 assists. He has been unbelievable in this rebuild. Price and Solis were absolutely amazing as well. We've been really, really good this season. Our players have performed to the absolute best. We are now in the Champions League final, and if we win this game, the rebuild's complete. So here we go, boys. It's Champions League final time. AC Milan versus West Brom. Looking at AC Milan's team, well, it's unbelievable. They've somehow got Kylian Mbappe. But looking at the average overall of their team, I think ours is slightly better. Despite the fact they've got Mbappe, our team, position for position, is actually stronger on paper. So as long as we can keep Mbappe quiet in this final, we have got a massive chance of beating AC Milan. A shot from distance from AC Milan in the first 5 minutes. Easy save for Zalakis. So can we finally get a bit of pressure on? So as long as we can keep Mbappe quiet in this final. I've said we have to keep Mbappe quiet. We've given him a chance from 12 yards already. Get that out. Nice. Get it out. Madja. Chance. It's in, boys! Josh Madja with the opening goal of the Champions League final. Our first big chance of the game, and it results in a goal. Great turn by Madja from the edge of the box as well. That is never being saved. Do you know what? We have rode our luck a little bit at the start of this game. When the big chances fell to our main man, he's taken it. Oh no. Get a foot in. Nope. Another good save by Zalakis. Milan asking a lot of questions here. Oh my god. It's a big tackle. Mbappe could be in. Oh, Mbappe is in. And it's 1-1, boys. I said we have to keep Mbappe quiet. Oh, right on the stroke of half-time as all that changes everything. Just completely skins Ankara. And Mbappe's never going to miss from there, is he? Right into the top corner. Their star man scores. Our star man scores. I think we let AC Milan dominate us a little bit in that first half, showing them a little bit too much respect. They've had a lot of chances, and to be honest, if we would have been winning at half-time, we would have been riding our luck a little bit. Back stick. Zolis! He's in the post from about 5 yards out. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? My mum could have scored that, honestly. What a ball. Zolis, make up for it. Make up for it, Zolis. Oh my, shocking. All I'm saying is Van Bommel would never. Madja. Price! 90th minute, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Price. Oh my god, this team is dreadful. Oh my god. And that's going to be full time, boys, I can't lie. We have missed 3 massive chances to win this game. Can't believe the chances we've missed in this game, honestly. Madja. Price. Come on. Zolis, make up for it, lad. What a tackle, are you? Oh my god. Fellows. Zolis, get in! That is massive on the stroke of half-time and injury time. It's 2-1 to West Brom. Now we just have to see out the last 15 minutes and not concede. We've missed so many chances. I had no other option but to sweat it. And Zolis, who's missed so many chances, I'm surprised he didn't actually miss that. And that's half-time, lads. We have worked so hard to regain this lead. If we concede in the next 15 minutes, I'm not even doing the penalty shootout. 1 minute of added time. Come on, ref. Just blow the whistle. Yeah, I think that's the game. Come on, ref. Blow that whistle. There's the full-time whistle, lads. The most stressful Champions League final ever, but 105th minute goal from Zolis wins the tie. West Brom are the champions of Europe. No thanks, though, to Price and Zolis, who missed so many chances. Now, all that is left to do is lift the Champions League trophy, boys, and it's our captain, our youth academy graduate, Ankara, who will do the honours, and West Brom are the champions of Europe. That's another rebuild successfully boxed off. So I just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does really help me out, and I will see you next week for another rebuild.